Ken Whalen.
And we got a Swoop Squad. What are we doing today?
We're checking out Swoop Squad's foreign policy with a 2006 South Korean film called The Host.
The Host. Not to be confused with the American film called The Host by Stephenie Meyer, which we will not name.
Yeah.
This movie is actually, to me, Korea's version of a Godzilla film. You know, you have Japan has Godzilla, America has King Kong, and also Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not a big fish monster?
I mean, it kind of has the same kind of plot line. You know, there some kind of man-made disaster causes the creature to develop, and this family pays a serious price for it.
Price. This movie is actually, it's a, like Ken, me and him was talking about it. This movie is a great mixture of suspense, comedy, a lot of comedic moments in this movie.
Yeah.
And some randomness, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on par technically with a lot of sci-fi channel movies. You know, it's obviously CGI. It was good CGI though. They did their best, and
really they did.
Yeah.
It's the movie's about. I don't want to butcher the names of the people that's in the movie or the characters of the movie, but it's about a guy who is pretty much a constant screw up.
Yeah, and it gets explained later on that he's actually brain damaged.
Yeah, on in the movie. But he and his sister. He has a sister who's an archery expert. You know, in the I guess the Olympic Games, maybe.
Yeah, she's like a national third place
champion. She got bronze. She brought you. Your auntie brought you bronze.
Yeah.
But her whole quirk is that she doesn't know when to let go. She doesn't know when to fire. She hesitates, and that's why she always fails. And then the brother, who is an alcoholic, his problem is, what was his problem?
He just does. He's a college graduate who can't get a job, and he's angry and drunk all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all of them have their little quirks, but yeah, it helps the movie. The movie, like you said, it was 2006. It's from Korea. It's actually excellent little monster movie. If you haven't seen it, I think that you'll enjoy it. Me and Ken was looking at it, and we enjoyed the way that they introduced the monster.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. You know, you don't expect it to come at you like that. They did a good job just throwing it at you.
And just revealing them. Like what's that in the background?
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, the monster was clumsy, which
it's
helped heighten the suspense a little bit.
And also, you know, speaking of that, that is the monster and the main man, very similar to one another, and both of them are clumsy. You know, both of them, I don't know, seem like they care for the daughter in different regards. But you know, I thought it was just an excellent little monster movie, and just the way that the whole scene of the monster's first attack on the city was actually it's brilliant. It's brilliantly done.
Crazy. It just comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
And then to follow it up, the next little scene after all that melee goes down is a scene that's supposed to be sad because you know several families are gathered in this community to mourn the loss of their loved ones, and the family is mourning, but it's just so hilarious. You know, they're fighting and on the ground, and it just, I mean, it's hard to describe unless you see it.
And you know, I'm sure some of this is lost in translation. You know, I'm sure some of that wasn't supposed to be funny, but to American audiences, it probably would be. You know, I've seen quite a few Korean movies. I love Korean movies. I think they do a great job. And this one, you know, doesn't disappoint. It's just as quality as everything else. You know, anywhere from a movie called Onmyoji all the way to
The Eye. I thought The Eye was excellent for a Korean movie.
It was really good. Old Boy was really good for a Korean
I haven't seen it yet. We're gonna see that. You're gonna see us review that on Versus Mode. We're gonna compare it to the Americanized remake. So, starring Josh
Brolin.
Yep. Goonies, because they never die. But this movie, Ken, what do you take from it? Like, what's the thing? Would you recommend this movie for other people, like the other American audiences that aren't accustomed to watching foreign movies? That's what the foreign policy is about: introducing you to these movies and suggesting whether or not you should watch them.
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
I would suggest it'd be a good intro movie into the Asian cinema genre.
Mhm.
There are tons of movies from all over the world. This one's typically Asian, so it would be a good introduction. It's not going to freak you out or gross you out as much as a lot of other Asian movies will.
That's true. That's true. It's not like, as he said, you have in China and Japan and mainly like in Korea, especially when they get into the ghost realm of type of movies. Those movies are just so freaky.
Very freaky.
It's not going to be. It's not so. What shall I say? It's not so.
It's not as hardcore. It's a good
Right.
taste of what
Right.
the Asian market has to offer.
It has a little, like I said, a combination of humor and horror, and it's a good combination. Very. I recommend it. And we watched it on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you can watch it there. Also, I know it's at our local library here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm pretty sure you can get it at your local Family Video or whatever your video rental place is. Would you recommend this to? Well, not so much would you recommend it, but what would you give this? What would you rate it?
Out of 10.
Mhm.
Out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6.5 to a solid 7. Just with the disclaimer that the effects are equal to Sci-Fi Channel, but the acting is way better.
This is so true. You know what? I'm gonna roll with my fellow Swoopvillian here, and I'm gonna give it the same rating because this movie is not terrible. It's not terrible. It's actually pretty entertaining. But if you go into it thinking, well, the effects in this movie is so. Remember, this was shot in 2006. Back then, the technology that they have is not what we have now, and sadly, we noticed that Sci-Fi Network has not updated their technology at all.
Not a whole lot. No.
And you'd rather watch this than watch Frankenshark or whatever that.
Sharknado.
Or Sharknado.
Sharknado 3 got greenlit.
I'm sorry to hear this. And but this movie, if you want to know, it does have a sequel. We looked at the behind us. We're on YouTube and we checked out the trailer for the sequel. It looks very interesting as well. So please check us out. I recommend it. Ken recommends it.
Yep.
Once again, Aaron Whitlow.
Ken Whalen.
And we're at a Swiss Squad, and I hope you enjoyed our show. What were your thoughts on the monster, like the actual monster? What do you think it was a mixture of?
I think there was definitely some catfish in it, just because of the way the skin looked and everything. It was it had some flippery feet that looked like the fins of a catfish and everything. The only thing that didn't look catfishy was the head.
And there's one part in the movie where they're attacking it, and then you see some fish pop off of it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like catfish as well, or some type of. It has to be a catfish because of the skin nature of it. It didn't have scales.
Right.
But it also had tentacles that reminded me of the squid that was mentioned earlier in the film. So I think it's a mixture of like all these different creatures from this river, and it's like just a ball of confusion.
Yeah, it is a ball of confusion.
So finally, what do you think about this movie? What do you rate it?
I'd give it about a 6.5 to a 7, with the understanding that the effects aren't as great as they could be. They're kind of on par with Sci-Fi Channel, and the acting was way better than Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I give it a 6.7 to about 7 in my rating because I think that the movie is excellent. I've seen it several times. It's your first time seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can still watch it. I enjoy the movie. And yes, the effects in it is not as up to par as today's standard, but it is better than what you see on Sci-Fi every day, and what's coming out soon. I can't believe y'all keep making Sharknado. Stop. Finally, this movie, The Host, 2006 Korean monster movie. Do you give it a stamp of approval on its passport to come into Swoopville?
I would, yeah. It's a pretty good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give it a stamp of approval as well. You can come into our community. Please don't eat everybody. The water's fine.
Yeah.
Well, finally, anything you want to tell anybody else?
If you guys like us, subscribe, share, whatever else little buttons down there you can hit. And,
Comment as well.
Yeah, comment all you
And
want.
if you have any foreign policy movies that you think that we should review on foreign policy, or any of our other channels or any of our other shows, please just let us know down in the comment section below. And finally, Aaron Whitlow,
Ken Whalen.
we are the Swoop Squad. Enjoy it.